from PRX.
Friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time for the podcaster who's gonna, do bricks intersect? Or they talk about interconnection or interconnection. There's interconnection, but sometimes I accidentally silence my T's, and I meant to say interconnection, but I said interconnection, which kind of sounds the same. There's also rainbow connection, which Kermit sang about. I don't know. I mean, isn't rainbow connection about interconnection and interconnection? I realize I'm supposed to be just barely introducing a sleep podcast, but I think this is important to explore. Okay, why are there is that rainbow connection? Why are there always songs about rainbows and what's on the other sides? Other side, rainbows are visions. They're only illusions. Rainbows have nothing to hide. What's so amazing that keeps us stargazing? What do we think we may see? Something will find it. Why is there always songs about rainbows? What's on the other side? Oh, under a spell. Something magic. I realize I'm trying to also not do all the lyrics because then it's like, that way I'm not reusing somebody else's stuff. But I'm pretty sure they're about rainbows have nothing to hide. Lovers are dreamers and me. All of us under the spell. I think it's about it's definitely I feel an interconnection to that song and Kermit and an interconnection. And I guess this is the only kind of part of the show where I could do anything sing-song at the very beginning of the show. Now, if you're new, you may be confused. Well, welcome to Sleep With Me. This is a podcast that's here to put you to sleep, to keep you company, really. So you could fall asleep. It's different than most other sleep stuff out there because I'm here to be your companion, your distracted companion who's here to be distractible and to distract you and ramble on and on and on to take your mind over here to songs about rainbows and other things, maybe blocks that we build stuff with for fun. I don't know, petered out there. I was trying to figure, it's such heady stuff, I can't link it all together. But I'm really here to keep you company and take your mind stuff so you can fall asleep. The show is very different, so give it a few tries to see how it goes. What we got coming up, most people listen to this ad-supported version and they listen linearly. Some people with a sleep timer set to 45 or 60 minutes. So there'll be support. So that's how you can listen to the podcast for free. If you prefer something without ads, you can get that at Sleep With Me Plus. Then there's going to be a long, meandering intro, which is meant to ease you into bedtime along with this kind of part of the show. Then later on, there'll be our bedtime story. And so you can ease on, drift off into dreamland during that. So that's the structure. So I'm really glad you're here. This show's, like I said, very different. Just see how it goes. The way we get to do this show twice a week are the people that support the show directly, the people that support the sponsors, and the people that spread the word about the podcast. And that's like maybe 5 out of 100. If there's 5 of you out of the 100 people doing that, we're in great shape, and I appreciate it. And we get to help those other 95 people together as a community. And if you ever want to be a part of a community, that's the best ways to support the show, or use a contact form on our website to get a hold of us. But if you're new, I'm so glad you're here. These are a couple of ways we're able to do this for you for free twice a week. Sleep With Me podcast is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy to see if you could save when you bundle your home and auto policies. Try it at progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states. Hey everybody, it's Drew Scooter here. It's time to talk about tonight's sponsor. The sponsor I'm sleeping in every single night, ideally, except when I'm out of town, and then I'm missing it. And that's my Helix mattress. You could take the mattress quiz at helixsleep.com/sleep. See what mattress you get matched with. I sleep in the Helix Dusk Luxe. And when I took the quiz, that's a mattress I got matched with because I sleep on my side, I sleep on my stomach. I don't like to be hot and stuffy at night, so I love the cooling features. And I know from my experience with traveling that no other mattress fits my sleep needs. There's no other place I'd rather be than in my bed in the sweet, sweet arms of my Helix Dusk Luxe. Because even when I've stayed in really, really nice hotels, I haven't felt like the mattress met my needs and how I sleep. That's what I love about Helix. I mean, you take the quiz, it matches how your sleep and feel preferences. You could take it with your partner. Then the mattress comes straight to your door, shipped free of charge. You just bring it inside and you set it up. So I love my Helix. It's a part of my long-term plans, man. It's like a long-term relationship because sleep's important to me and being comfortable in bed's important to me. So you should check out that Helix quiz. Everybody, this is an exclusive offer for Sleep With Me listeners. It's better than what you find on the public website, so pay attention. Go to helixsleep.com/sleep for 27% off site-wide. That's helixsleep.com/sleep for 27% off site-wide. helixsleep.com/sleep. Thanks, everybody. Hey, everybody, this is Scoots, where I encourage the people who already get a lot of value out of Sleep With Me, who listen to 2 or more episodes a week, or 2. If you listen all night, definitely pay attention right now. Or if you listen to like 3, 4, 5, 6 episodes of Sleep With Me a week, I'd love to have you support the show back so we can be here for you. But I'm not going to I'm not going to try to convince you. I'm just trying to get this message through. If you already say, yeah, I know, I just keep forgetting. This is just one more reminder of how powerful your actions are when you support the show, and just giving you somebody else to identify with who did it. They were just like you. Yeah, I know I give value out of the show, but I'll do it tomorrow or I'll do it the next day because I've been there too. And this comes from Nora. I was listening to Sleep With Me multiple times a week, more often than other stress relief subscriptions I actually paid for. So I decided I should start paying for this podcast. I wanted to support a podcast that was so important to me. And I really like the ad-free content and the extra Ray content. So thanks, Nora. So if you're getting more value out of Sleep With Me than stuff you already pay for, it makes your life better. And that's what I'm here to do. Keep you company, take your mind off stuff so you can fall asleep so your life can be better. And I do that. We're able to do it. The whole team of people that work on the show is able to do that because of people like Nora. So if you identify with what Nora said, you said, yeah, no, Nora did it. Now I'm going to do it tonight. Go to sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. That's sleepwithmepodcast.com/PLUS. Sign up now and you say, oh boy, now you can go to sleep. I did what Nora did. So thanks everybody. Oh, Mystery Bart, a lot of people help out on this show. Who are they?
Chris Posty Poster Son sounds like an earful. Wrote the theme song. Edits episodes too. Carl W. the Legend. Also edits episodes. Ashley, Kenny, Scotty, Jennifer. Runner. Eric and the team at Astound or on the website. I am the Mystery Bart. I do the lullabies, yeah. I do commissions at JonathanMann.net. I'll write a song for you. Any reason at all. You can tell me the story and I'll make it personal. You see the kindness shine straight on through when the listeners form their own Facebook group. Keith, Stacy, Sarah, Julie, and Jennifer. These are your moderators. Get support your Scooter on Patreon. Buy the merch and support the sponsors. You can find anything you want at sleepwithmepodcast.com. And we're so proud that we could dance. Rusty Biscuit, Lois, Anna like banana. Leah does the transcripts.
Thanks Thanks, Mystery Bard. Oh, Mystery Bard, by the way, did you know if you sign up for Sleep Phones, we're giving you some access to Sleep With Me Plus? So if you go to sleepwithmepodcast.com/sleepphones, not only the most comfortable way to listen to Sleep With Me, you can get those Sleep With Me branded sleep phones. You could use the code Sleep With Me to save $5 off your order. And then when you get your sleep phones, you just send a message to Scooter through the contact form on our website, and you'll get access to Sleep With Me Plus. So get those sleep phones, sleepwithmepodcast.com/sleep phones, and then send us a message. Thanks, everybody. Hey, are you up all night tossing, turning, mind racing, trouble, getting to sleep, trouble, staying asleep? Well, welcome. This is Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. We do it with a bedtime story. All you need to do is get in bed, turn out the lights, and press play. I'm going to do the rest. What I'm going to attempt to do is create a safe place where you could set aside whatever's keeping you awake. That could be thoughts on your mind, things you're thinking about, thoughts about the past, the present, the future, thoughts about rainbows or songs about rainbows, thoughts about blocks. Maybe you live somewhere with the great rivalry, Playmobil versus Lego. Much like here in the U.S., you got Sears, we've had episodes about that. Sears and Whitman and the other ones, I don't even remember. Fannie Farmer, I think. But we here we play, in my house, we do play with both. Now, all our Playmobil stuff was actually given to us, but here's the thing: I like playing with toys. I mean, that's what are thoughts? It could be things you're thinking about. It could be feelings related to those thoughts, feelings that are just left over from the day, feelings that are just popping up or appearing. It could be physical sensations, changes in time, temperature, routine, travel. Gas. You could be going through something, getting over something. You could work a different shift. Maybe you have a dog that wasn't feeling so great that woke up at about 2 a.m. and she wasn't sure what she needed. So then you laid with her and then they said, well, let's go outside and do some walking. And then you said, okay, well, let's try lying here and I'll try helping you and let's do some more walking. And then you said, okay, I could just hold you here in my arms. But then also as a result of that, you suddenly were like, now I'm wide awake. And then eventually got to sleep. It could be something like that. That's pretty specific. Could be, care for the ones you love, and whatever it is. The only reason I go through that kind of stuff and list it the way I do is so you can get a sense you're not alone. And I realize that's kind of strange with a podcast, and so you don't know me. Or that's what I would say. I don't want me to put words in your mouth. Like, that's kind of the way my self-talk goes. You say, you don't know what's going on with me. And I say, I may not. You're right. But I think I can probably relate to how it feels on the inside. Because even last night, even though I was taking care of my sweet, sweet Koa, afterwards, it was kind of like, man, I don't know if anybody knows what this feels like. And also, even though Koa was in my room, my daughter was in the other room. I don't know, there's just a sense there. That's why I call it the deep, dark night. And there's a really good piece of news, which is that no matter what you're going through, and I realize this may be a stretch for your internal voices if you're anything like me, there's someone listening somewhere in the world right now who has been through something similar, and they're rooting for you right now. And they're kind of saying, I really hope this podcast can help you like it's helped me. And I hope that one day you're listening months from now and you're holding the place for the new listener and welcoming them in. And once you do that, you realize even though it's indirect and even though it's a little bit, I guess we could say woo-woo, it does matter and it is real and it makes a difference for you and for the other person. Because the space is bigger than this podcast, because it's something we all relate around. And the other important thing is that you deserve a good night's sleep. You deserve a bedtime you don't have to dread. You deserve a bedtime you could look forward to or at least feel neutral about. And a bedtime where most of the time you can have a nice wind down and then get the rest you need so your life is more manageable. So you could be out there living your life tomorrow. And ideally down the road flourishing, because that means if you're doing well, we're all doing well. Our world's a better place with you in it. And we could use you out there. So the way this show works is that I send my voice across the deep, dark night. I'm going to use lulling, soothing, creaky, dulcet tones, pointless meanders, and superfluous tangents. So I'm going to go off topic. I'm going to get mixed up. Then I'll forget what I was talking about. Then I'll start talking about whatever the two words were, interconnected and interconnected. Then I'll think about something barely related. You see, the only thing related between those is the word connection. And I say, well, are you sure about that? Because I don't know. I mean, I think, well, yes, okay, so you could say that. And I say, okay, we don't have to argue. You're only one part of my brain. You don't have to argue with me. But yeah, like then I get distracted about that. Then I have a conversation with a part of my brain. Then another part of my brain says, by the way, shouldn't you be keeping going? I say, yeah, pointless meanders, superfluous tangents, creaky dulcet tones, which means my voice is not traditionally soothing. In fact, when most people start listening to this show, they don't like it. And I mean, maybe they don't dislike it either. I think that's probably true. There's some people, now here's the thing, if you already have a strong dislike for this show, I would still say give it a few tries, but you could always check out sleepwithmepodcast.com/no thank you. That has plenty of other sleepy stuff on there, sleep podcasts and other stuff that you could check out if this show doesn't work for you, because everything I already said is true. But for most people, when you first listen to this podcast, it's different, right? Maybe you heard about it or you were searching for a sleep podcast or bedtime stories for grown-ups. And we've been doing the show a long time. And, you know, sometimes people are nice enough to mention the podcast. And then you get here and you're like, wait, what is this guy talking about? I mean, he's not making any sense. I thought this was going to be a bedtime story podcast to put me to sleep, but he's just going on and on and on and not making any sense. And I was skeptical. I was doubtful. Now I'm even more so. And to you, I would say bravo, because that's how I would be with this podcast too. I'd be skeptical, doubtful, irritated. When does the chiming start? When is there some sort of deep, like sub-bass tones? I need more than creaky dulcet tones. Do you read from creaky dulcet tones, or are you just tones? And I say, well, I think my middle name is creaky dulcet tome. So it does take some getting used to, but when people get used to it, what happens, one is either they wake up and they say to their partner or whoever they see in the morning, hey, how's it going? I'm pretty good. I think I slept good last night. Really? You tried out that sleep podcast for the third time, the one you loathe? Yeah, he said give it 2 or 3 tries. I gave it one last try. And suddenly I realized when he says the podcast is always never getting started, always going nowhere, it finally made the no sense to me in the most sensible way. What kind of stuff does he talk about on there? I don't know. I think he was talking about Casual Connection or something, some store in a shopping mall, maybe? I don't know. Okay. Casual Connection. That doesn't sound like a store in a shopping mall. That sounds like something that should be like behind a filter. So, okay, well, I guess maybe he's talking about connecting the dots. Okay, that makes more sense. And other people will say, oh, I had no idea. I've been looking for something like this my whole life because I've used TV or daytime podcasts or, called a friend and had them talk to me. I didn't think something like this would be out there for me. So, yeah, that's cool. And so I don't know, it takes some getting used to, I guess is my point. It's an acquired taste that it's something you acquire, you already have the taste for it, but you acquire the taste for you acquire the fact that you already had a taste for it, you just didn't know it was out there. It's also a podcast. I mean, I think this is kind of what I was saying. It's like that you don't really listen to it. You just barely listen to it. It's not just background noise, but it can be background noise. It's not just nonsense. It's listenable, but you don't need to listen to it. You could listen to it. I'm here to talk whether you're awake or asleep, whether you're listening to me or not. It's also a sleep podcast that's not here to put you to sleep. Even though I've been doing this over 11 years or so, this podcast does not put you to sleep. It keeps you company while you fall asleep. There is no pressure to fall asleep with this podcast. I'm going to be here. That's why the shows are over an hour. I'm going to be here to the very end, whether you're awake or asleep, whether you're listening or not. Because there's people who are listening who can't sleep at all, or who need a break during the day. So I'm here. I'm here to be your boar friend, your boar bae, your boar sib, your boar bud, your neighbor, your boar bee, your boars, your best boyfriend forever, to keep you company while you fall asleep. And you can listen to episode after episode after episode or make a playlist. I'm here to keep you company while you drift off, or if you wake back up or whatever. I think those are the most important things. The other thing that can throw people off that I like to talk about every episode is the structure of the show. Because the show's structured in a very specific way that can benefit the most amount of people possible. But it's one of those things people, I don't know, I like to explain it because, obviously it's another thing you might be skeptical or doubtful about. So this way I can meet you where you are. So the show starts off with a greeting to meet you where you are. It says, hey, welcome in, friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. And I try to say something silly or nonsensical, or to me that's humor-like, I guess, and somewhat entertaining. But it gives you an idea of the nature and style of the show. You say, oh, okay, I might check that out. That sounds like a little bit like I could like it. Then there's support, so that paying for the podcast is optional. Most people prefer the ad-supported version, but if you prefer something without ads, you can get that on Sleep With Me Plus. And then after the support, totally separate from the support is this intro, which we're about 15 minutes or so into, and it's like about a 15 or 20-minute thing. It's a show within a show. And it's meant to ease you into bedtime. It's different every single episode. It follows a familiar structure, but I never know what I'm going to talk about. Even the times I think I know what I'm going to talk about, and I say Rainbow Connection. It's mysterious. People are like, it's not mysterious. Rainbow Connection. The lyrics are mysterious to me, even the actual remembering of them. Rainbow's got nothing to hide. Like, what about saying it? What if people said it like a statement like that? I mean, that would be off-putting, I guess. Say, look at that song, man. Why don't more people make more songs about Rainbow's got nothing to hide? Well, when you say it that way, it makes me think that Rainbow's hiding something. So we were told, like, I guess I don't believe that, Rainbow. Now that you've brought it up directly, I don't believe that Rainbow has nothing to hide. what would a rainbow hide anyway? Are you sure that's even the lyric of the song? No, so I should probably move on then. Yeah, you probably should. Okay, I'll move on then because, but yeah, I mean, now that you've brought it up, I don't know if I could ever, I mean, I trust the rainbow. I just don't trust you telling me directly. If you would have put it in a song, like it's sung by a Muppet, I probably would have trusted it. But because you said it as a definitive statement, almost like a SAT question, if rainbows have nothing to hide, if then, therefore, I don't know. That's why I make a sleep podcast. So the intro, like I try to explain what the podcast is, but it takes me 15 or 20 minutes because of sidetracks like this. But every episode, I try to explain what the podcast is, but the sidetracks are different. And this is just my theory from making the show, is that that's one of the things that works about the podcast. That and me being here to the very end to keep you company, to be like a service for you. But that having that variety and that familiarity kind of puts you at ease, but it puts you at ease because you're not sure what's going to come next. So whatever part of you is monitoring things to try to keep you awake, it can be distracted too. It needs our help just as much as you need our help. It needs a bore friend. I call them brain bots, but I'm trying to just personify it in one way. Our rainbow statement maker. Oh, did you buy that for the Oh, yeah, the rainbow statement maker. There's only one statement. Rainbows have nothing to hide. Yeah, so I've been told, and some choose to believe it. Okay, this has gone way off the rails. So that's the intro. But the other thing is the intro is intentional because it's not meant to put you to sleep. There is a small percentage of people that fall asleep during the intro. But for most people, they're getting ready for bed. They're winding down somehow in whatever way they choose. Maybe it's in bed getting comfortable. Maybe it's petting their pets. Maybe it's looking out the window, drawing, knitting, hooking, playing with a toy, or just getting settled in. And then, so the intro is to ease you into bedtime, to give you a buffer between being awake and asleep. It's what's been shown to work. It's what works for me personally, is easing into bedtime. So that's what the intro does. It's like a 20-minute, 30-minute wind down. Then after the intro is some support, and then there'll be our bedtime story. All told, we'll be here for about an hour. And if you're new, I'm really glad you're here. I really hope this podcast can help you. If you're a regular listener, welcome back. I don't know. I don't know if I'm sure we've talked. I know we've talked about Kermit the Frog in the intro before, because that's one of the only celebrity impersonations I can do. But I can only do Miss Piggy saying Kermit the Frog and then going, hi-ya. I think I can say, I think I could do, I can't do it right now because now we're late in the intro, but I was saying Kermit the Frog here. I guess that's the only thing I do is Kermit saying that and then Miss Piggy saying, hi-ya. And I've talked about this before. This other reference is very dated, but it was even on repeats when I was a kid. What's the name of the bear? Yogi Bear. And he had a son, maybe, or some nephew named Boo Boo. And all I could say is he would say, hey, Boo Boo. Not like that, though. Those are the only celebrity impersonations I can do. Oh, there's one other one, but I don't do that one very well. So anyway, that's the intro, goes on and on and on. Oh, then the bedtime story. Oh, I'm glad you're here. See, I can get distracted even at the end of a distraction. But I work really hard on the show, so do a team of other people. And we all yearn and strive. We really want to help you fall asleep. So thank you so much for coming by. And here's a couple ways we're able to do this for you on a regular basis. Thanks so much. Hey, everybody, this is Scoots here in this part of the show where I say, hey, if you get a lot out of Sleep With Me, right? You listen to Sleep With Me 2 or more times a week. You listen to more than 2 episodes a week. I'd love it, if you go to sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. That's sleepwithmepodcast.com/PLUS right now and sign up to support the show. And then tomorrow when you're resting, you could set up the bonus content because this message is only for those people, right? Those people who already know you want to support the show. It's just getting you over that last thing to go to that website and sign up. I'm not here to convince anybody because, like another supporter said, hey, I get more than I give, right? So Susan said, feels good to support a talented, hardworking creator who generously shares his life experience, sense of humor, care, and compassion with his audience. I found great comfort and or happy distraction in so many episodes. And here's to many more years to Sleep With Me and Ray episodes. And it feels good because I know my support back makes a huge difference and I get a lot of value out of the podcast. And that is from Susan, right? So if you get a lot of value out of the podcast like Susan did, if you love Ray, Fearless Flyers, you want more, and you want the show to be around for you and for everybody else, right? And you want to empower the show back for what it does for you. Go to sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. That's sleepwithmepodcast.com/PLUS. But thank you so much, Susan, and everybody who supports the show, whether it's through Sleep With Me Plus, through referring people to the show or sponsors. I appreciate it. All right, everybody, this is Scoots here, and this is a new style of episode we've never done before, though I'm very surprised we've never done it before, and I don't know when this is going to be coming out and hitting your sweet, sweet ears, but I'm very excited about this episode, and this episode, it may have more future context than I know, because we're covering some things Muppet related in Walt Disney World in MGM Studios, a.k.a. Disney Studios. And we're going to be doing some brick building. And I had no idea this kind of stuff existed, but as part of the Orlando Park Stop fundraiser that we do every summer. So this episode could be coming out as a part of that. That means I worked ahead, and so you're hearing me in October if this is the summer 2025. Or I was also planning on doing a fundraiser for a couple organizations my mom volunteered at the end of 2024. Or this could just be a regular episode putting you to sleep. But so we're covering. Oh wait, so okay, back up, Scoots. You're already off topic. Okay, so as a part of the Orlando Park Stop fundraiser, I became aware of all these people. So part of the Orlando Park Stop fundraiser that Alicia Stella runs is that a bunch of people will submit art or prints or things, and an auction and selling of the sales of that art also go as are part of this fundraiser. And in the past couple of years, I usually buy stuff, but then I usually also follow those people on social media. And then at some point, I don't know which came first, and I don't know what will be the situation when I'm recording this, but it became apparent that there's a possibility, at least, that Disney could close down Muppet Courtyard, it's called. It's not Muppet Land, it's Muppet Courtyard at Disney Studios. And as a part of the Orlando Park Stop fundraiser we did in 2023, right? Yeah, we did an episode about PizzaRizzo, which is a pizza place in Muppet Courtyard. So let me just walk into Muppet Courtyard first before we start brick building. If you're headed towards, currently, I think it's called Grand Ave, you're headed towards Galaxy's Edge. You're going to either be coming from where the ABC commissary is or past Star Tours. And on your right will be, what's the place called? Something Brickyard Tap House or something. That's like a bar with food. I've never been there, but I do hear they have good pizza. Good pretzels. And that's where Rhino has a podcast interviewing people, or like a bonus podcast. But then across the street from that, they were actually doing construction. So they were working on some sort of permanent, I don't know, like stand. But behind that stand, so you'd be facing one of the entrances to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. And on your left would be the entrance to Muppet's Courtyard. There's what's that? Not a swan, a fountain with Miss Piggy in it. She's has dressed, I believe, this is just my memory, she's the Statue of Liberty. And if you're facing that fountain, to the left are restrooms that are medium to high traffic restrooms. But I highly recommend those restrooms, because the other restrooms that are closer to Star Tours, there's 2 sets of restrooms closer to Star Tours. And Backyard Cafe, or whatever that's called, Backlot Express, those restrooms are very, very high traffic. So these restrooms are lower traffic. You could even catch them in low traffic. So, I mean, that's always an important thing. And especially if it's me and my daughter, if I see like a line for either one of us, they say, okay, I prefer it to be clean and no line. Those are those are part of the reasons I choose restrooms. Okay, but so those restrooms are attached to PizzaRizzo Pizza Restaurant, which is also on your left. And then on your right is Muppet Vision. And then there's other things in Muppet Courtyard, but we're not going to cover those just yet. Because what I discovered was, so I was buying prints and stuff and looking at different people's way they do Muppet-type artwork. And then I discovered that... okay, that's just part of the Fun Stop, Orlando Park Stop fundraiser. Then I became aware that Disney may or may not close Muppet Courtyard, Muppet Vision, PizzaRizzo, and put something there, or they may put something somewhere else. That's just speculation at this time. And while we do have Muppet Vision and the Muppet Courtyard and the PizzaRizzo, I would not say in that fountain, of course, the fountain with Miss Piggy's worth 1,000 words. But I wouldn't say that Disney's actually, they could do more with the Muppets. Muppet fans would agree. And we don't want to lose this little piece of the theme park. But if we do, I want to, take some time to speculate and go there. And then so I was aware of an artist called The Horizoneer, I think. And it'll all be in the show notes because I'm not good at this remembering stuff. But I'm pretty sure it's Phil The Horizoneer. I became aware that they had custom brick building sets. So, the 4-letter word for brick building. It's MAKE. No, I guess Connect. No, that's too many. But, there's a big brick building brand. But I didn't know you could go on Etsy and people would have custom brick building kits. That's a thing. And I said, holy cow, this person has brick building kits based on stuff in the Muppets Courtyard. And I said, sign me up. And I thought I would do it as part of like a wine, there's always been a goal with the podcast to do a wind down show, but I haven't done that yet. But I said, okay, I'm going to do these. And then my daughter was under the weather. So I said, you want to put some of these custom brick building kits together? And she said, I do. So we put them together. And so now I'm going to turn things over to our resident brick building bud to build some bricks. Take it away, bud. Thanks, Scooter. That was a pretty long way to get to a short introduction, but I'm Bud. I'm here to put together some bricks, we're going to start off building PizzaRizzo, and that's one word, PizzeRizzo. It's named after, oh, by the way, I'm just like a brick builder. I'm not an expert brick builder, but this is not a scale brick building. This is what I think they call it, a mini construction model of the facade of PizzaRizzo, which is a pizza restaurant named after Rizzo, who was friends with Gonzo. And it's set in New York City, and they serve pizza. And it's Scooter's done an episode from there, and maybe even social media. So, PizzaRizzo. So the first thing we're going to do, I've also never done this before, is step one, we need one piece. And it's a black rectangle that is 6 pips by 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. What did I say? 6 by 16. So the old 6 by 16er, a black rectangle. We're going to take that. And then we're going to take some things that are flat toppers. I don't know what to call them. They look a little bit like 2x4s. And maybe we call them what are those called? When you cap boards, because they're closed tops. They kind of make like something like a railing or a sidewalk. We're going to need 3 of those, 2 that are, what is it, 8 and 8 is 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 plus 4. So we're going to need 2 6ers. They're 1 pip wide. So I guess technically they're like a board. And 2 of them are 6 long and 1 is 4 long. And we're going to do them. If we have the rectangle with the facing us as a long portion, we're going to use one of the 6ers, then the 4, and then a 6er again. So the long, what we're now going to call the front, until it becomes not the front, maybe. Kind of like for temporarily, we're going to pretend it's a curb until it becomes something else. Oh, and we're continuing this motion along the 2 short ends of our 6 by 16er with the same thing, 2 shorter beams, cap beams that are 5, 6 by 16er. So it'd be 4 then. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're right. 4. And then 2 squares that are just 1 pip squares. So we're going to create what now looks like a U. So the 2 short ends of our 6 by 16er and 1 long end are capped. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to work on the other long side, but we're going to get 4 green. And I would say they're not lime green, but not pea green either. Things that when they're they're reverse arches, but they're reverse half arches. So I don't think, Scooter, I don't think you could have hired anybody better to make a sleep podcast. Can't believe it took you this long to do this. But we're going to create 4 pieces. So they kind of look like they're 1 pip wide, and they're the height of a normal brick. But only one part of it is as high as a normal brick. Then it has a swoop down. But if you connect, so kind of like a half of a half pipe, if you connect two of them together, or a quarter of a half pipe, or maybe a quarter of a quarter pipe, so that when you have them facing together, they create, like a swoosh, like a slide up, a slide down. And we're going to go two of those back to back, proceeding along the other long end of our 6x16er. Now, you might have an instinct to keep going with that, but no, we're going to put some, we're going to do a little checkerboarding, black and white checkerboarding with square caps like we used previously, but they're just square 1-pip squares. And we're going to go 4 black squares and 4 like tiles, I guess. Yeah, you'd say tiles, and 4 white tiles. And we're going to alternate right behind our green reverse arches. And we're going to make a checkerboard pattern. So starting a white square tile, then a black square tile, then a white square tile, then a black square tile, then a white square tile, then a black square tile, then a white square tile, then a black square tile, all the way. That's step 5. Okay, step 6 is going to take some, we're going to need some more naming conventions here. So step 6, we're using orange, and there's a couple different pieces we're going to need. Out of these, we're going to need 8 pieces total. Now, 2, 4, 6, actually only 6 pieces. Check that. And these are going to be going up against the long front curb of our base. And 2 of those are going to be orange cap pieces that are 2 pips wide, 2 pips long and 1 pip wide. And then 2 of those are going to be square tile pieces that are 2 by 2. So 2 pips wide, 2 pips long, squares, 4 pips total. And those other pieces cover 2 pips, okay? Then we're going to take 2 pieces that are very much like that, but they have a single pip on the top, kind of like a pip cap. So it's a cap piece, like smooth topped tile, 2 by 2 tile topper, whatever you want to call it, with a pip on top. Old pip on, I mean, talk about my expectations are great now for this project. Okay, how are we going to lay those out? We're going to lay them out against the long side of the curb. We're going to leave, if our curb is facing us like a U, the longest U you've ever seen, and on the top left back side of the U, or going across, is like our green double swoop. In front of that is black and white tile. Then in front of that, we're going to leave 1 row of pips. And then on the left side, we're also going to leave 3 open pips. We're going to put our first pip capper, or capped pip, square. So that means the left of it is 2 pips, and above it is 2 to 3 pips, depending on how you do your pip counting. Then we're going to leave 2 open pips, and then we're going to put a 1 by 2 or a 2 by 1. So that will have 2 pips on its left, 1 pip above it, and 2 pips on its right. Then we're going to put another pip capper to the right of that after, the empty pips. And that'll have 2 pips above it. And you'll know it's right because that pip cap will end kind of like lined up with the green swoopers end and the black and white tile end. Then we're going to leave a space. Then we're going to put a 1 by 2 or a 2 by 1, whatever you want to call it. And then flush with that, we're going to put 2 by 2 tiles. And then that'll be good for that. Then we're going to move on to our next piece of construction. step 7 we're on. And Scooter was wondering how many, he's like, he told me, I don't know how many sets of instructions we're going to need for this. I said, it'll be okay, Scoots. Okay, now we're going to a deep green, forest green, we're going to say. And we're going to find pieces that are one pip squares with a pip on top that are half a brick or a quarter brick thickness. I don't know the actual specifications. I'd say that they're brick thickness, but they're actually a half brick thickness. We're going to stack 2 of them. We're going to use 8 of those deep green squares total, single pip square with a pip on top, half thick. You're saying who's half thick here? But we're going to take 8 of those and we're going to make them into 4, like stacking. And you say, well, why don't you just use ones that are, and I said, well, this is what came with the kit. Gives us something to do on step 7. So once you put all this together, we'll go from having 8 to having 4. Then what we're going to do is just basically, we're going to place the first one behind the first white tile, which would be to the top left of the corner of the orange pip capper. Then we're going to place the next one to its right after an empty pip space behind the next white tile. Now, not on the next one. Next one, we're going to leave 2 empty pips, and then we're going to place it behind one of the black tiles, and it'll be in between the flat orange 1x2 or 2x1 in the next pip capper. And then we're going to place the next one, I guess those are quarter thickness maybe, I don't know. But the next one we're going to place behind the last black tile. All right, this next step is we're going to use 4 pieces that look like lavender booths that you would sit in at a pizza restaurant. And we're going to place those lavender booths on either side, to the left and right sides. They're 2x1s, and they look like a booth, or I guess if you put them together, they'd be more like a box, open box. We're going to place those to the left and right of both of the pip cappers, so they're like whatever. I mean, they're like booths. I think we can figure out what's happening next. This is the first time. But no, next we're going to keep constructing. And we're going to use some unique pieces now, which is exciting. We're going to take one Kelly green, or maybe Kelly green was the other color, and this is like a royal green. I guess our first green was a Kelly green. This one is more of like a green. Kermit, was the first one a Kermit green or this one? I'm not exactly sure. But we're going to get 1 quarter thick or half thick piece that is 1 wide and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's check that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 long. So it's like a long board, but it has pips on the top. It's not like those pip cappers or whatever we're calling them, or caps. This is a full-on, it's got pip acceptors on the bottom, pippers on the top. And it's just, it's, I don't know, quarter thick or half thick, whatever math we've been using. And we're going to put that on top of our reverse arches, kind of creating like a nice shape there, like almost like a cross beam. So now we have a couple arches below. And then above that, we have 4 tan brick pieces that look like bricks, like masonry bricks. So they're designed pieces that have a little texture to them. And they're 1x2s, and they're full height bricks. I mean, like your normal brick height. And so we're going to put those on top of the piece we just did, and we're going to use 4 of those that are two pippers. So they're 1x2s or 2x1s. I don't know. So we're using 4 of those to complete this level. Okay, then what we're going to do is we're going to get 4 forest green barrel pieces, single pip barrels, which I guess are full height barrels, and they just look like a barrel, or a circle or a column. And we're going to put those on top of the Kelly green pieces we've already placed, which are above now the booths, they look like columns. Okay, next we're going to do 4 royal green or full green. We're going to need 4 of these. These are, how do we describe these? So these are squares, 1 pip squares with a pip on top. They're royal green. They're full brick height. And we're going to take 4 of them and make them into 2s. So they'll be like 2 brick height columns. And then we're going to place them 1 all the way. If we're still in our U pattern, looking at the U, and we go to the right side of the U, there'll be an orange tile at the bottom. We'll have our U. Then you'll have your orange cap square. And then you'll have your, we're going to put that above up against the right side of the curb, one of those. Then we're going to move the other one all the way to the left up against one of the dark green columns, right next to one of the booths. Okay, that sounds good, yeah. Okay, next up, we got another very unique piece, a piece I've never seen before. But we also have 2 more. We have 2 Kelly green. No, those are deep green squares that are the same kind of 1 pip square that we just used, just in a deep green color, good deep forest. And we're going to place each one of those on the inside of the ones we just placed. So it's almost like we're building a wall. But these will be half as, they're lower. But then we have 2 other pieces, which are almost a blue translucent piece. That's also a 1 pip square. It has a pip on top, but it also has a pip on its face. It's a pip-faced pip topper square, 1 pip square. That's also blue and translucent. And we're going to put those on top of the pieces we just placed, a face with the pip on its face facing us, so we can make eye contact with these pip faces if we so choose. And it's kind of like they're looking out over the curb. But then on the next step, which is the step between 12 and 14, we're going to place, so on the pip face, we're going to place red. We have 2 square red flat tiles, like a pip cap, like a cap for like a cap piece. And we're going to cap those faces with red squares. And so that creates like an Italian restaurant kind of pattern, even though the square below it is inset, it goes red-green. And then in between those, we're going to take 2 maroon 2x1 full-size bricks, stack those, and then put those in between our red, the things we just put the red faces on. And so we have a nice kind of wall developing or something like that, right? The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go back to a similar piece we've already used. We're going to get 8 forest green square, half thickness pieces with a pip on top. And yeah, I'm sure there's proper language for all this, but Scooter just brought me in to do this, because this isn't like pro brick building, this is brick building to put you to sleep. What we're going to do, what we did earlier, is we're going to take those 8 squares and we're going to make them into 4 squares that are whatever, full thickness or half thickness. And then we're going to put those 4 squares on top of the columns that we had placed near the booths. Okay, now we're going to complete our booths, and we have a very special piece that's going to go a piece piece. But first, we're going to put the tabletops. So we have 2 red circles that are quarter thickness. They have pip cap on there too. So they're kind of like a raspberry beret, but they're red. And they're not that much like a beret. They're like a table. And we're going to put those on the cap, the pip cap. We're going to put a round pip cap on a square pip cap. It's kind of like I'm announcing square dancing. Put the round square cap on the red square cap. So that'll look like tables between the booths. And then we're going to take these. We have some pizza pieces that are, they look like a quarter square of pizza or a quarter of a pizza. We're going to put those on the table. We're going to attach them to the cap. We're going to put the pizza cap, put pizza end on the square round cap, the round cap we put on the square cap. Then we're going to bow to our partner. We're going to put our left foot in. We're going to shake it all about. And then we're going to go to 16. Now, 16, we're going to be getting back into this superstructure. Oh boy, is this structure going to be super when we're done with it. So we're going to take... we're going to go back to our royal green. We're going to need 2 royal green pieces. One is a 1x6 full height piece. Then we're going to get a 1x6. Is that 6 or 8? I think that piece might be 8. That's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that's 8. And that one's a quarter thick. I guess it's a quarter thick. I'm looking at it lined up. Okay, so we have those pieces. Then we're going to get a gray, like one of the thinner pieces, whatever, quarter thick. I guess it's quarter thick. It would take 4 of those to make the thickness of one piece. Maybe. We're speculating here. Obviously, only try this to put you to sleep. Don't try to do this don't base your brick construction on us. Although it could be relaxing. It would be interesting to see what you'd come up with. Okay, so the next piece is gray, and that one is 2 pips wide and 8 pips long, but also a quarter thickness. So we have 3 pieces total, right? Now we're going to start capping some stuff. So we're going to take the 6 piece, the 1x6, that's full thickness. And we're going to put that on, if we're looking at the U, on the right side of the U, on top of the wall we've developed, which will have red and green and maroon. We're going to put it on top of that like we're continuing the wall height. Then to the left of that, we're going to do some roofing. So we're going to put on the dark green columns, the forest green columns, the green, Kelly green. Is that Kelly green? No, that one's the regular green. Okay. We're going to put the 8x1 on top of the dark green columns across the top of that. And that'll be lined up like flush with the piece we just placed. Then flush behind that, we will place, now you got to be careful with that one because it doesn't have, it's not going to have a reinforcement, right? But we're going to place that gray piece on the walls. It'll be flush with that piece, but on the walls behind it, we're topping that, right? And just be careful doing that because you don't want to push it in until we get some stronger superstructure. Okay, 17 is our next step, but we're going to go back to basics here, and we're going to get 4 more of those quarter pipe pieces. If we're making a half pipe, we may need these reverse arches. And just like the arches below it, we're going to continue that pattern. So we're going to put 4 of those so that they create 2 sets of back-to-back quarter arches, reverse arches. And below them will be the gray piece. Then below that will be the tan brick pieces. Below that will be some Kelly green. And below that will be another set of Kelly green reverse arch pieces. Okay, now we're getting some serious, this is the most pieces we've used in the biggest variety. It's only a selection of 4, but we're going to need 4 black 1-pip square tiles, 4 black white square pip tiles, 4 orangish rusty full size 1x2 bricks that look like bricks. So again, these actually look like they're almost a brick color. And then we're also going to need an 8, the same piece we just used recently, which is a quarter thickness 1x8 regular green piece. And what we're going to do there is the first thing we're going to do is place in front of our Kelly green reverse arches on top of the gray, very carefully, you're going to create a tile pattern. White tile, black tile, white tile, black tile, white tile, black tile, white tile, black tile. So that in front of that is like still one open row of pips on top of those dark green columns. Behind that will be the Kelly green reverse arches. On top of the Kelly green reverse arches, we'll put the brick-colored bricks so that they run across that. And then on top of that, we'll put the regular green quarter 8x1 piece. So we're getting our second story really going now. Okay, now we're going to do some more snazzy stuff. We're going to get a piece, probably the piece we've used the most, which is a forest green, quarter thick, one pip square with a pip on top. And once again, we're going to combine those 4 of those. In the past, we used 8. Now we're only using 4 to create 2. And then we're also going to take 2 pieces that are 1 pip, kind of like a little arch or top. It's a half circle. That kind of looks like a 1 pip arch, decorative piece. You'll be able to find it. It's decorative. And if we're facing the U, right, we're going to look at our first booth full of pizza, BOP, booth full of BFP. And we're going to line the double square dark green one. We're going to put on top of this column piece. So in front of the tile work we just did, we're going to put one of the double squares. Then we're going to put one of the half circles. Then we're going to put another double square and then a half circle. And then we're actually going to continue doing that on our next step 20, but we're going to go half circle, then a double square, then a half circle, then a double square. And that it should create where we go, this is all dark forest green, square, half circle kind of fancy piece, square, half circle, fancy piece, half circle, fancy piece, square, half circle. And so if you were thinking about it, like if you have the table with the pizza on it, there'd be a half circle lined up with the center of the pizza table. But we're not going to stop there. This fanciness continues because we're going to take 4 barrel, one pip, thickness barrels or columns, and 8 more of those VIP deep green 1x1 quarter thick squares. We're going to combine those 8 into 4 again. We're going to put those on top of the column like a little toppy poo. And then we're going to take each of those columns that we just made with the toppy poo, and we're going to put them on the pieces we just placed earlier, like that are next to the half circle pieces. Don't worry if you're lost already, because I'm, but we're creating another level of column almost. This is fancy work. This is a fancy, nice place to eat. And it's going to create an impression, or if you start to use your you don't even have to use your imagination, of a second story. Because next we're going to start to enclose that second story. And if you're really looking, you say, wait a second, now these columns line up with the back of the place too. And so then we're going to start to put some roofing on. And for the roofing, we're going to need 3 pieces, all gray. Not Earl Grey, all gray. And our first piece is going to be quarter thick or half thick, whatever you call it, a rectangle, 2x6, and then 2 quarter thick gray 3x3 squares. And we're going to place those on top of the columns all the way to our back wall. First, the 2x3, and then the 2 squares. So that should enclose our second story. And now we're going to get, this is a big step here, 23, but we're getting fancy. So we're going to need a lot of pieces for this. We're going to be doing some, what is that called? Like an awning. So we're going to need 2 pieces that you would probably use in an awning that are 1 pip. They're like roofing pieces. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to need one of those that's 1 pip, and then one also that's 4 pips. Then those are regular height, full height. Then we're going to need 1 gray 1x6, quarter thick. Then we're going to need 1 full thick green 1x6. And then we're also going to need a dark brown quarter thick 1x8. And you say, holy cow, Scoots, I can't even. I said, don't worry. It's going to be great. We'll start with the awning. So our awning is going to go on the right side of our U on the roof of our first story, which is starting to look like the entrance to a pizza place. And so we're going to place our awning on there. And the way we're going to do it is you could start on the left or the right, but we're going to go on this top, one of the 1 thickness awning piece. So it's kind of sticking out like an awning. Then our 4 piece, and then another 1 piece. And then we're going to take our regular green 1x6 regular thickness, and we're going to cap the awning. So we're going to put that on top of the pips that are on top of the awning. Now we're getting a nice facade going. It's really looking good. Then we're going to move over to our fancier side, our second story. And we're going to start to do some reinforcement on our second story. So along the back wall roof, we're going to put that 1x8, that dark brown 1x8. And then in front of that, interconnecting all those gray pieces, 1 pip in on each side and 1 pip flush with the 1x8, but 1 pip in on each side to the right and the left. We're going to put that 6x1 quarter thick gray piece. All right, now we're going to turn our U all the way around, right? Now definitely bow to your partner. And we're going to see, this may be breathtaking. This is the first time you're not just seeing the backside of water, but you're seeing the backside of PizzaRizzo. And you might be saying, my word, but we're going to keep decorating. So this is the backside of our restaurant. So you'll see the little windows, which are very cute. but we're going to do some tile work. So we're going to take 2 green square tiles, 2 red square tiles, and 4 white square tiles. And we're going to do tile work behind the windows of our 1-story facade, which is now kind of 2 stories with the awning. And we're going to go, if we're all the way towards us, red, white, and then above that, white, green. And then we're going to actually build up the back of the store. So we're going to take some very tall pieces. These are double thick pieces. And these are 2x1s or 1x2s that are double thickness. Maybe one's even triple thick. And we're going to place those on either side of the tile work we just placed so that we're going to do, one is kind of like a dark brown, and then another one is like a beige, and we're going to stack those, and they should go up to the roof that we just built. And then we're going to take some white pieces, and we're going to finish this roof work so that our whole roof is getting flush. So we have some white pieces, 2 quarter thick white 1 square pips with a pip on top, and then 2 right angle. So these are 1 pip thick, but they're right angle, quarter thickness, or 1 pip wide, but it goes 1 pip, and then it's a right angle, 2 of those. And we're going to arrange those pieces to start to create a roof thing that's going to hold on our roof. So the only thing to note about this part is that it's kind of tricky. So it's going to be, we're capping the awning in the pieces we just placed. But right now we're kind of on the reverse U, right? And so we're going to place first on our little roofing on our bottom left side of the roofing we're trying to work on right now. We're going to first put just a 1 square thing, then a right angle piece. Then a piece I guess we must have placed earlier. Oh, I did miss a part. Okay. I did skip. That's why. Okay, but we're fine right now with what I skipped. Now the next piece is going to be a facade, a piece that holds up a facade. So it is it's kind of the thing if you were working on a car that would hold on the headlights. It's a piece that has a 4 pip face, but it hangs off of a 2 pip angle, kind of like I don't know any of these terms. It's a pip face holder or a pip, a car grill holder. And in this case, it may be holding something for the front of the thing. So we're going to put that there so it's facing the 4 pip faces on the face of our store above the awning. Next to that, we're going to put 1 white square, a quarter thick, whatever. Then we're going to work on another facade piece, but it's only 1 pip. So I guess that would be a brake light facade holding piece. It's got a 1 pip face, and 1 pip on top. And then behind that, we're going to put another right angle. So the right angle, though, is kind of fits in there. Oh, no, so I misplaced something. We're going to connect everything with the right angle and then a 1 pip square at the end. And it'll work out. In the end, it'll all work out. We'll keep building always upwards. You know, they always say this in PizzaRizzo biz. They always say that at pizza. They don't say that at PizzaRizzo, but they do say order pizza here. Pizza made by Rizzo. And, so we're keeping going. So now we're going to take 3 brick pieces out of that brick color, or almost a brick color, that look like bricks that look like bricks. Is that a famous like photo YouTube channel? Bricks that look like bricks. I was originally going to do bricks that look like people. And then I started a channel, bricks that look like bricks. It didn't work out. But we're going to get 3 of those that are 2x1s or 1x2s, full thickness. can't believe we've had pieces that were triple thick. Yeah, I can see, now I'm looking at our picture, those are triple thicks, those ones we use on our back for our restaurant. Okay, so we have 3 bricks that look like bricks that are 1x2s. And we're going to put those on along the front edge of the part we just worked on. So above what will be the facade for our store. And then behind that, we're going to use a 2x8, I think, 2x6, a 2x6 quarter thick gray piece to cap the backside of our roof that we're working on. And oh boy, we're still facading it up, man. So now we're even working on more fancy stuff. So I don't even know what to call these pieces. So this is step 29. And we're going to take 2 regular pieces that are regular thickness, square. They're beige with a pip on top. So just a regular old square piece, 2 of those. We're going to combine that with like a sign holding piece, I think, or a clock holding piece maybe. That's a 4-pip face with a 2-pip bottom that could hold something kind of almost like the opposite of the piece we just used. But that was only, this is a square of 4 instead of 4 across. And we're going to have that square of 4 in the center of the roof we've been working on, facing outwards with the 2 squares on the back side of the square of 4 with those 2 beige ones. Then we're on to step 30. And for step 30, we're going to work on the back side of this side of the restaurant's roof. So we're going to take 2 more 1x2s or 2x1 bricks that look like bricks, full thickness. And I don't want to say this is the first classic brick we've used, but I mean, it is bright orange. But I believe this is the first prototypical brick in my experience. That's a 2x6 full thickness brick, which I just associate with most construction, but not like a mini construction like this. Proto brick. I don't know if it's ever been called that. Most of our references have probably never been used with toy brick building in the past, but it's first and last time for. Did you call it a proto brick? Do you know what proto brick means? Yeah, it's like the brick archetype. Would you prefer I used archetypal brick? So yeah, that's an orange one. Okay, the way we're going to do it is we're going to have on the left and right side of this portion of the roof are bricks that look like bricks facing out with the orange brick kind of in the middle. But we're not done yet. Holy cow. Because now we're going to continue building upwards. I mean, until we get flush with our facade with the front part. So we're going to get all quarter thickness pieces. And what we're going to start with is our base is a 2x6 quarter thick gray piece. Then we've got a beautiful lavender 2x4 or 4x2 quarter thick one. So we're going to put that in the middle of the one of the gray one, so that there's 2 pips on either side, right? And then on top of the lavender one, we're going to take an orange square, 2x2 quarter thick, and put that. So a little ascending order there. And then we're going to put that on top of what we just placed in 30. You know, the orange and the bricks that look like the proto brick. Cap that proto brick off and seal it in with those bricks so that look like bricks. Now we're on 32. Time to get seriously fancy with some roofing pieces. Capped angles. I don't know what you call them. We got 6 maroon. I don't know. Capped angles. I don't know what else to call angle caps. And they're 1x2s, and you look like a double thick doorstop if you're really looking for them. And we're going to, you can already see the tiering we're doing. So we're just going to take the tiering we just did with our gray, lavender, and orange. And we're going to build this up to a little roof. It looks like a little bit of a barn roof. Like if you're looking at the backside of our restaurant and you're only looking at that part of it, say, though, it kind of looks like a barn roof where we'd have square dance. Where you'd say put the circle cap on the end cap and spin it round and round. Put your right foot in and your left foot out and bow to your partner. You know, when another thing with Generation X that comes up is like most of us as a part of our education for some reason, we played with one parachute as a group, some sort of collaborative play for PE. And we also took square dancing lessons as part of PE. What a time to be alive, man. I mean, the playing with the parachute for me was very fun. You just kind of, everybody, it was a circle. I don't even know if it was actually a real parachute. I don't know why they don't do this anymore. What does this have to do with brick building? I don't know, but you just kind of whoosh the parachute and it was pleasant. Okay, so now we're going to turn our store back around, turn our partner around and round, and we're going to look at the U, and we should be facing a store that looks much different than it did earlier because there's a lot of caps on it now, and we're going to put even more. So we're going to take 2 more of these like face capping type things. They're red, like the angle thing you'd used to put on a facade. I don't even have to I just don't have the vocabulary to describe it in any other way, but be great for holding a brake light again. And those are red. And then we're going to take 6 beige 1x1 full thick squares, and we're going to stack those in front like of the our barn roof, but with the red, like we have that gray square with the face cap. We're going to put it on the left and the right side of that a red face capper. So again, we're starting to construct our store. Then we're going to do some more design work on the tops of these things we just placed. And we're going to need 6 and 6. So we're going to have 6 regular green quarter thick squares with a cap, like a pip on top. And then 6 beige tiles. And we're going to cap each of those 6 greens with the beige. And then we're going to cap each of the different beige that we already used on this front top roof. So we're going to cap the roof with a square. And it's exciting times, right? Okay, then we're going to keep working on the decorative part of our facade. And we're going to have these 2 really cool pieces, which are half circle caps that are blue translucent, so kind of like lights almost. And we're going to put them on 2 red face capping pieces, so they kind of look like the flat part of the half circle's down. Then on the we're going to have that square that holds the facade. We're going to have 2 light gray pieces that are quarter thick, 1 pip on top squares. And in the top left and the bottom right quadrants, we're going to put those of this square face capping piece. And then we're going to take 2 dark gray facade holding pieces with the pip faces, angles. And we're going to have 1 in the top right quadrant with the pip face facing up, and then 1 in the bottom left quadrant with the pip face facing down. And if you're playing along at home, you've already won. Holy moly. Then, oh boy, this is going to be nice. Then we're going to take 4 great, are these pieces great? Oh boy, are they. These are pieces that kind of look like grates. They're 2 by 1, quarter thick, but they look like grates. Like what do you see grating over, like something in the street or on a roof. And we're going to take all 4 of those and we're going to cap off everything. So we're going to cap off our front-facing face, and then our upward left or upward right quadrant, we're going to put one on top of that. And then on our lower left quadrant, we're going to put one. So it's just give us some texture, man. Really nice. Those are all grays. Then we're going to do a little bit more design work above our awning and the other open cap faces. So what we're going to do is we're going to do some fancy design. We're going to take 1 forest green tile cap piece, 1 red cap to square, 1 by 1 square, or 1 square tile. These are all quarter thicks. One pip, red quarter thick square with a pip on top, and then 1 white grate piece, just like the grate pieces we used above, but this one's white. And we're going to take that on our white facade holding piece that has 6 openings, right? Or 5 openings. And here's how we're going to do it. On the, if we start on the left, in the first opening, we're going to put the red quarter thick pip on top square. To the right of that, we're going to put a green tile. To the right of the green tile, we're going to put a rectangle, the white grate. And then the last open pip, we're going to put a red cap tile. They say, man, I mean, I thought that movie, the brick building movie, was exciting, but this is like nothing like that. I'd say, no, this everything is lulling, man. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to do some work back on the part we haven't been working on in a while. On our left side, what was our second story, now we have almost like a 3-story building. And on that one, above our green columns of a second floor, we're going to put 2 sets of these front of the car holding design facade pieces that each have 4 face caps on, pip faces on the roof hanging down. So then we have 8 open pip faces above our green columns. Then we're going to cap those with dark green, quarter thick, like the boards, board caps, 2 of those. So those are what, 1 by 4s, like quarter thick cap boards, kind of like we used in the back at the beginning with the curb, but these are green instead of black. Then on the left side of our roof here, we're going to put another 4 pip face car face thing, angle thing. That's what it may or may not be officially called. Okay, we're going to keep getting fancy here. Now, we're going to work on even more design work. So we're going to have 1 red quarter thick tile piece, 1 square tile piece, a holding piece, which is a pip-topped, full thick, full height square, but it has a little clip. It's a clip holder on its face. Its face has a clip holder. And then we're going to have 1 piece that looks like it's I don't know, like a fancy pipe piece or light or something. And we're going to put that on that red. Remember that red? we're back to our right side of our face of our store above the awning. So all we have opening on the face of our store there is that one red pip. So basically what we're going to do is like, this is like just a fancy piece. I don't know, maybe it's a light, maybe it's something else. But we're going to make that into one piece. So we're going to take the piece that looks like a pipe, we're going to put it in the clip. Then we're going to cap our top of our pip, and then we're going to put that on the pip on the pip face. And we'll be all set there. Okay, that's done, right? Now we're going to do some more design work on the left side of our store or restaurant. So on the left side, we're going to, on that pip facing, the 4 pip facer that's on the left, like side of our second floor, we're going to put a 1x4 dark green capboard piece. So yeah, just finishes that piece off. And that'll be all the way on the left side. But now we're going to go back to the right side of our store. But on the current piece of the roof we're working on. And we're going to take 4 gray grate pieces that are 2, quarter thick, 2x1s, gray grates, and also 1 maroon cap, square cap tile piece. All these are quarter thick, right? And so we've got this open roof space with a lot of pips. So we're going to go all the way to the right till we're up against the piece, our third story. And in the top, back, right pip, we're going to put that maroon tile square. Then in front of it, lengthwise, we're going to put one of the grates. Then to the left of those, widthwise, we're going to put 3 more grates, gray grates. You're doing great. Then we're going to have 5 more grates, 1 more maroon square tile, and then we also have a 2x2 maroon square tile with pip on top, a pip capper, as I called it earlier. And we're going to work on finishing out the roof there like that. So we're going to, let's just start on the left side so it's easier. And the left corner, just like we did on the back right corner, we're going to put that square maroon. And then in front of it, we're going to do the same thing as like we did on the other one. But the roof, the heights on this roof are a little bit different. We're going to put a lengthwise gray grate. Now we're going to go back to that back left corner where the maroon tile was. Now to the right of that, we're going to put this 2x2 pip capper. And then in front of that, we're going to put a grate. Then to the right of that, we're going to put 3 more grates. Now, we're almost there. Holy moly. This place is looking spectacular. Now we're going to put a sign that goes on the roof. And if you've been to this place, it's a very cool neon sign, which we can't quite do here because it's bricks. So we're going to put on top of that pip capper, we've got a piece we haven't used yet, but it's similar to other pieces. It's one of these facade holding angle pieces, but this one has 2 pips going up. It's like a sign holding piece, or if your car, like if it was like a car piece, it'd be holding 2 brake lights. And we're going to put that on top of the pip capper there. Then we're going to be back in proto brick territory almost. It's quarter proto brick, so quarter thick, regular green, 4x2 rectangle. So a quarter or half thick of our proto brick. And we're going to put that on the piece we just placed, like it's going to be a start of a billboard. And then we're going to work on the billboard. So the billboard is going to be red mostly with some pizza. So we're going to need 2 quarter pizza circles that look like pizza. We're going to need 2 square red quarter thick tile pieces, which is the same thickness as the pizza pieces. We're going to need 1 square, what do I need, 3 of those? Oh, no, 2. Okay, I see. Sorry, 1, did I say 1 red square tile piece? And then 2 by 1, so rectangle red tile pieces, cappers. And then 1 quarter thick square with pip on top, red piece. And I know that's confusing, and you may even want to do this on your proto brick before you place it. But basically, we're going to take our proto green brick, and we're going to hold it like a rectangle lengthwise down. On the left side, on the left, top left and the bottom left pip, we're going to put one of the 1 by 2 red cap pieces. Then to the right of that, we're going to make a pizza, half circle of a pizza, so that the arch is going towards the left and the complete version of the circle of the pizza is going to the right. Then we're going to take on the top, so the top right to the one to the left to touching the top piece of pizza, we're going to put a 2 by 1 capper. Below that, touching the bottom piece of pizza, is the 1 red square with with a pip, and then to the right of that will be a red tile. Wow! And then we're going to put on that top. So then we're going to take. We're almost there. Then we're going to take 2 more pieces. One of which is the mascot PizzaRizzo. Rizzo. It's not a 1-to-1 version of Rizzo, but it looks like it's from the same family of friends as that Rizzo. And then we have like a piece again that's red that we've used earlier. That's like an angle pip face holder. And we're going to put our mascot on one, and then we're going to attach it to the open pip on next to the piece of pizza. But we still have 1 open pip below Rizzo's friend. So that was step 46. And then the funniest thing is that this one is a quarter 48. Below Rizzo is a piece that's a quarter circle that looks like a piece of cheese. That's also going to be like in 3D away from the pizza. And then that's it. We've constructed PizzaRizzo. And oh boy, was that exciting. I can't believe it's taken over 11 years to come up with this idea, because it was so, it was fun putting that together. And yeah, if you like this style of episode, be sure to let me know. Best way to let me know is to support the show. When I send you a message, I'll ask you. I send you a video, when you sign up to support the show, and you let me know what your favorite things are. Say, hey, this brick building thing's pretty cool, because we'll probably use these for these fundraising things, just because it's so related. Well, anyway, thanks, everybody, and good night. Hey, Rizzo Scoots here, tucking you in with a message from Roberta. I've been reading through these people who support the show, who chose to support the podcast, because me kind of pointing out, hey, you should support the podcast because of this, or you get these sweet benefits or whatever. It just, I realized, one, I'm only trying to get this message across to people, that already want to support the show, and kind of give them a little boost to do it, right? To overcome that last piece of resistance. I realized, hey, why don't you just read what the people that did that part of their thing, don't bother. Oh, I don't know, I'll do it later or whatever. So just reading through these. So if you identify with what Roberta says, all you need to do, it's really simple steps. Go to sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus, sign up. You could set up the bonus content tomorrow, and you're really making a decision that has a huge impact, positive impact on the podcast, the people who listen to it, into you night after night after night, so I appreciate it. Roberta says, Sleep With Me became my bedtime buddy after learning about it from a close friend. I decided to ditch the ads and get Scoot's bedcasts quicker. I'm delighted to pay for something that I get value out of. I'm delighted to pay. Somewhere between the tangents and the abrupt switches of Scooter's spoken words, I drift into sleep, but I don't realize I was asleep until the morning when I awake. I receive more than I give. Thank you, Drew, for being a bedtime bore. Please continue boring me to sleep. My favorite bonus is a Ray or the All Intros or the Trader Joe's Fearless Flyers. I like listening to you go shopping, even though I don't like going shopping, grocery shopping. I adore supporting and helping defray costs for my good sleep. After I signed up, I received a personal video of Drew, and I believe the sincerity in those eyes made me grateful to be a participant in Sleep With Me. Wow, thanks so much, Roberta. So I guess that's in the end what Roberta said. Like, if you receive more than you give from the show, think about it's a pretty good investment, right? Like someone like Roberta is probably paying $120 or $240 a year, and hopefully Sleep With Me brings really like thousands of dollars of value to you every single night. So if that's the case, think about it and go to sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus, PLUS. Sign up to support the show, and then you'll get a video from me tomorrow or later on in the week. Then you can set up the bonus content, when you're more well-rested. It really is just a few steps, and it makes a huge difference for me on the show. Thanks.